Morality is a topic that has fascinated philosophers and thinkers for centuries. But what exactly is morality? Is it subjective or objective? How can we know what's moral and immoral? And how do we handle immorality? Today, we will explore these questions through the lens of Plato's The Republic and examine some perspectives from society. But before we begin, let me ask you a question. What is morality to you? Is it a set of rules to follow, or a way of life? And how do you practice morality in your own life? Let us know in the comments below. In The Republic, Plato argues that morality is not just a set of rules to follow, but a way of life that can bring us closer to our true selves and to the divine. He believed that there is an objective reality of morality, grounded in reason and the eternal forms. Plato writes, "There is an absolute beauty and an absolute good, and of other things to which the term many is applied there is an absolute each, and, again, there is an absolute essence of which the objects of sense are only shadows." So how can we know what's moral and immoral? Plato believed that we can use our reason to discern the eternal forms of justice, beauty, and goodness, and to apply them to our daily lives. He believed that education and philosophy were the key to understanding morality and living a virtuous life. But practicing morality is not always easy. We face challenges and temptations every day that can lead us astray from our values. Plato believed that the key to handling immorality was to cultivate a strong inner character, to develop habits of virtue that would guide us through difficult situations. In The Republic, Plato tells the story of the ring of Gyges, a magical ring that gives its wearer the power of invisibility. The story goes as follows. Now, the shepherd found a cave in the earth with a hollow in it, and finding that the sheep entered it of themselves, he followed, and pushing the stone door, which he found at the entrance, he entered after them. To his amazement, he beheld within a hollow, contained by the sides of the cave, a human being, larger in stature than any mortal, and he was bound hand and foot, and there were several others like him. There were also sitting round about him several jars and vessels, filled with provisions and drinkables, which appeared to have been recently brought in, and there were besides great numbers of gold and silver coins, and an abundance of clothes and other things which were used by the captive. The shepherd, when he saw all this, was greatly astonished, and drew near and spoke to him, "Who are you?" In the story, Gyges, when he discovers the ring, he uses its power to commit various immoral acts, including murder and adultery. When he finally becomes king, he continues to act immorally, believing that his power makes him above the law. But Plato argues that true morality comes not from external power or authority, but from an inner sense of justice and righteousness. He writes, Plato uses this story to explore the question of whether people would be moral if they had the power to do anything without fear of consequences. He argues that true morality comes not from the fear of punishment, but from the inner desire to do what's right. He writes, "The just man is not the product of a legislative or judicial fiat, he is the product of a good education and good habits." But what if we do make a mistake and act immorally? How should we handle that? Plato believed in the power of self-reflection and self-correction. He believed that we should acknowledge our mistakes, and strive to make amends and learn from them. He writes, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile." In modern society, there are many perspectives on morality. Some believe that morality is subjective, that it is a matter of personal opinion or cultural norms. Others believe that morality is objective, that there are universal moral principles that apply to all people, regardless of their culture or beliefs. For example, in recent times, there has been a growing movement for LGBTQ+ rights, with many people advocating for the right to love and marry whoever they choose. Some argue that this is a matter of personal morality, that everyone should be free to make their own choices about love and relationships. Others argue that it is a matter of objective morality, that all people should have the right to love and marry whoever they choose, regardless of their gender or sexual orientation. Plato believed that the key to practicing morality was to cultivate good habits and virtues, such as courage, wisdom, and self-control. He believed that these virtues could be taught and learned, and that they were essential for creating a just and harmonious society. In the modern world, there are many challenges to practicing morality. We are bombarded with conflicting messages about what is right and wrong, and it can be difficult to know which path to follow. But the principles of Plato's Republic can still guide us in our search for a moral life. We must strive to cultivate good habits and virtues, and to seek out knowledge and wisdom. We must be willing to acknowledge our mistakes and learn from them, and to hold ourselves accountable for our actions. And we must work together to create a society that values justice, equality, and the common good. What do you think about Plato's views on morality? Do you agree or disagree with his ideas? And how do you practice morality in your own life? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.